he pauses for like a second. His face goes white, and he just looks at Toby. Says, "Toby, I think I think I might have just done something really bad. Do you know any healing spells, Toby? I think I messed up."
Toby says, I'm sorry. I don't. That's not my specialty. Oh my goodness, Asa. Don't you have like you're an herbologist? Don't you have like a potion or herbs or plants or something?
Do I know anything?
Nothing that's gonna help like a severed lung. Nothing that's gonna help severed lungs.
CPR is not even gonna help. But I think
No.
he would try that.
You can try.
I think he would try because he might not know the lung is severed. So
roll
he's
another
gonna
first aid.
at least try CPR.
Yeah.
15.
15. You're going to attempt to do CPR, and when you go and try to blow air into her lungs, you get nothing but like blood. Like the blood starts gushing into your mouth because she's just bleeding internally. Her organs are shutting down one at a time. Toby is terrified at what's happening. He feels like hopeless. You're still trying desperately to revive her, and she just slips and slips and slips and fades away. And Asa just looks at you with very, very sad eyes as her hand, reaches up to touch your head, and then it falls to her side limp. And when you try to check her vitals, her heart stopped beating, and she's gone.
Al doesn't want to believe it, so he casts Vulnera Sanatur again. Even obviously, I know as a player it's not gonna do anything. He casts it, and he keeps trying CPR, and he casts it, and he's just like a madman. Like he's not stopping. He's just going. Like I'd say minutes unless Toby stops him.
You'll do that, and then Toby will finally like try to grab a hold of your arms and say, I'll stop. I don't think that's going to do anything anymore. I'm sorry. She's gone.
Albion is obviously he probably has some blood on him from when he was trying to do the CPR, the blood that was coming out of her. I imagine, is Toby like actually hands on Albion or just?
Yeah, he's sort of like got he's I'm gonna say he's got one hand on your arm, the other hand on your back. Like he's sort of like trying to get you to calm down / stop, but you can also feel Toby's shaking because he seems to be just as like shooken up and terrified as you are.
Al, he's pulling away a little bit, but he's exhausted. Just I think the mental, emotional shock more than the physical has just like, he tries one more time, and then I think he collapses, and he says nothing. He's just staring at her, breathing heavy.
Damn it! He yells out. We were trying to help the Muggles. We were trying to help those effing Muggles. That's why I was doing all this research to make the Obliviate spell not so bad. And this is what they do. Toby's like, again, shaking. He's furious and looks scared at the same time. I don't understand. How could this happen?
He's still very shocked, so he's not saying a lot. He's hearing Toby, but his brain is just processing like, what can I do next? How can I undo this? What are my options? He's like not giving up on it. Albion looks up at Toby.
Tell me that this wasn't a waste of time. Tell me that I didn't just spend the last 2 years of my life researching the Obliviate spell just for this to happen. Tell me I didn't just waste my time.
Internally, Al's really unsure what to say to that. The last thing on his mind right now is the attack and the Obliviate spell, so he musters up, he doesn't want to seem rude, but he's really confused why Toby's worried about that. He gives a very flat I'm sorry. Like there's not a lot of tone or meaning behind it. He's probably not even looking at Toby in the eyes. He's probably still looking at Asa. Just, I'm sorry, Toby. He takes a few more deep breaths. He looks at, and then he finally looks up at Toby. He says, I think I need to take her body to her family.
Can I help you? Toby softens a bit.
I don't know, Toby. I think I just killed her.
No, Al, this wasn't your fault. You can't blame yourself for this.
I thought I was helping. I thought I was just trying to stabilize her until we could get her to a hospital. But I don't know what happened. I'm usually pretty good at healing spells. Like I'm not the greatest, but I've never done anything.
Al, you are. You're an amazing healer. You can't doubt yourself for.
What if they think I killed her? What if they think I did this on purpose? I mean, you were here though, Toby. You're my witness that this was an accident. And he'll start crying at that point.
Toby sees you cry, and he starts to get, again, very awkward because he wants to like give you a hug, but at the same time he also feels just awkward about it, just in general. And he'll come up to you, and he'll put his hand on your shoulder and trying to comfort you, and he just remains silent as you cry.
Out of character, I kind of forgot we're at Finn's house. So I think that realization would kick in to Albion as he's truly contemplating what he has to do next. Like he's never had a dead person he's had to take care of. Like he doesn't know, like, do I take her to the hospital? Do I take her to her family? So he might stand up, and he's been at Finn's house before, which is how he knew to apparate there. So I think he would stand up, and he would, without saying anything to Toby, he would just like start walking through the house looking to see if he sees any of Finn's family, because I imagine he would have at least met any of Finn's family that were there.
Yeah, but I think you know that most of Finn's family are in hiding. So you remember that base in the Bermuda Triangle? That's where they are right now. So that is the reason why his house is empty, because they're hiding at the moment.
Okay, then skip that. Never mind. Toby, I don't even know what to do at this point. Do we take her to St. Mungo's, or do I take her to her family? We can't just leave her here. I mean,
no, we can't. I mean, if it were me, I would think that you would want to take her to her family, and they can decide what to do.
Are you gonna be okay if I? What are you gonna do, Toby? I can't take you both. Do you need to get to a hospital?
No, I'm a little bruised, but not. No, I'm fine.
I think Finn might have a flu network if you need to use that.
Okay. I guess I'm just going to. Well, I can't go back to Koldosterets because nothing's there. I don't even think Roxy knows yet. I better like send her an owl or something. Anyway, this isn't your problem, Al. You go take care of what you need to do for Asa, and we'll catch up, okay? I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Where are you going to be staying now that Koldovstorets is destroyed?
I don't know. Koldovstorets was where I was, I guess, hiding out. It's where, I don't know. I guess I'll hide then, because that was where I felt safe.
Out of character, if you'll let me take this liberty. If not, just let me know. I was gonna assume, since Albion's family is obviously in the ministry, like, I feel like their house would probably be a little more protected in a safe place.
One of his 13 houses? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here, just take the keys to this house. We haven't used this one in, like, the last decade, so... which one? His Japanese, his UK house? Which one?
I feel like... Toby was at the Japanese... Or no, Toby was never at his house. He wasn't part of that party. No, but they went to the British one after the event.
Correct.
So he would offer him that one, because that's the one Toby's familiar with. So he would tell him, Toby, if you need a place to stay, you can take the Flue to my house in Great Britain. You've been there before, and Ellis should be there.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much, Al. That helps me a lot.
Just tell Ellis I sent you, and that I'll be there as soon as I can. He swallows a big lump in his throat. I have something else I obviously have to take care of first.
Okay. Well, just let me know how it goes with her parents, and I'm really sorry, Al. Like, that doesn't help or fix anything, but I'm really sorry.
It's okay. I don't know what else to say either, Toby. But just be safe. Get yourself to safety, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Okay. And with that, he's going to go through the Flue network to your house.
Now that they have a minute just without Toby there, Al's gonna look down at Asa, and he's crying right now. And he grabs her hand and just sits for a few seconds. The tears pick up a little bit. He's starting to be able to not be able to really talk or form much of a sentence, but through that he tries, and he says, I never wanted it to end like this. I never thought this is how we would say goodbye. And I'm really sorry, and I feel like this is all my fault. And he sits there a few seconds longer, and then he would kind of clean her up, wipe the blood off of her if there was any, try to make her look as normal as he can before he takes her by the hand and apparates to her house.
You'll apparate to her house. Right now in Japan, it's overcast, sprinkling a little bit. Some of the birds, however, are chirping, but what normally might sound like a very cheerful song on most days, today it sounds eerily morose as you carry Asa to the steps of her parents' house. You notice on your left and your right that it seems like a lot of the wizards and witches of that neighborhood have started packing up their things, and they seem to be leaving/moving. You hope that when you arrive that Asa's parents are still there. It looks like they still are. You knock on their door. It opens and you see this older woman. A few wrinkles, strategic wrinkles. She still looks very pretty in the face. She has a lot of Asa's features. She opens the door, and at first she looks at you and gives you a smile, but then she immediately looks down at her daughter in your arms, and her face drops. And she looks back at you and she speaks to you in Japanese. Albie-kun, what happened?
He's bawling at this point, and he takes a minute to try to calm his tears before he tries speaking. And when he speaks, it comes out as a whisper, like a hoarse, raspy whisper. And Mrs. Takahashi, I'm so sorry I tried. I'm so sorry. He repeats that over and over again. I'm so sorry I tried.
She calls into the room frantically for her husband, and Mr. Takahashi comes out. His face also goes dark when he sees their daughter, and they take Asa from you and carry her into the living room, and they start trying to shake her and wake her up because they don't know what's happening. They shake her and wake her up, and they're slowly realizing what's happened to her. And again, her mom looks up in your direction and she asks, "What happened? What happened?"
We were, and he'll proceed to tell the story as best he can. We were in Koldovstorets, and the castle was under attack by Muggles, I believe. And Asa and I happened to be there at the time, and it was a mess. It was chaos. It was a blur. And I managed to get her to safety, but her wounds, she was hurt. She was hurt, and I tried my best to stabilize her, and I wanted to get her to a hospital, but I don't know what happened. It just got worse, and she couldn't breathe. I'm so sorry. And he'll kind of, where is he in proximity to Mrs. Takahashi?
Wherever you want.
And can I assume that they probably had a decent relationship, being that he was there all the time as a kid?
Oh yeah, they're almost like second parents to you.
He would kind of collapse into her and hug her and just start sobbing into her shoulder. And if he is talking at this point, it doesn't make any sense. He got out the story as best as he could.
She's going to break down crying as well in your arms, and Mr. Takahashi is rocking back and forth with Asa in his arms, and he's just stroking her hair. And it is a very cathartic scene because their house is very pristine, it's very clean, it's very white, and Asa's there all dressed in white, and they're just in that moment right now. Time has stopped, and they're just absorbing what this means with the loss. And I think that over the course of the next half hour to an hour, they're going from stages of grief to stages of anger, of the war and everything that's happening, to stages of fear, and to make a long story short, after the end of the hour and the parents have gotten a little bit of their composure, obviously they're still devastated, still dealing with this sudden news, Mrs. Takahashi goes up to Albion, and she takes Albion's hands, and she looks up at you because she's a little shorter than Albion, and she says, "Albie-kun, I need you to do me a favor, please."
He'll nod.
Nico doesn't know. He needs to know. I can send him an owl, but I think it's going to take too long. Can you go to him and tell him what happened? The last time I got an owl from him, he told me that he was going to Morocco, to one of the wizard villages there. Can you try to find him and tell him what happened to his sister? He needs to know.
I think Al's tears have subsided at this point, and he's just very morose, but he'll just nod, and of course, Mrs. Takahashi. He needs to hear it from someone in person, I think. You're right.
You're his best friend, and if it should come from anyone other than his own family, well, you know you are his family too. So I think it should come from you.
Yes. Mrs. Takahashi and Mr. Takahashi?
Yes.
Before I go, may I visit Asa's room?
Yes. Of course. Mr. Takahashi says, Albican, you know you're always welcome here. That doesn't change, especially now. We consider you one of our own children as well. And now that we've lost one, please know that we don't want to lose you as well. You're always welcome here.
So he'll head to the room. Do either of them go with, or did they just let him go?
They're just going to stay with Asa. They're just going to stay with her.
He'll head up to the room and he'll sit down on her bed. He's looking mainly for the gift he gave her for Christmas those 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or if he doesn't see that, he's looking for just something. He wants to take an item as a memory.
Sure. You'll go into her room and you can see that her room is very well kept. It's very orderly. She has some things up on the wall, like medals and certificates and other things that she have achieved during her time at school. There are probably some wizard photographs of you as children, growing up, you and Nico and her. And you know, her shelf is very perfectly well organized, so you will easily be able to see the gift that you gave her. But the interesting thing is that the gift that you gave her, there's actually a unmarked envelope that is sitting underneath. The gift that you gave her is underneath that envelope.
He'll pick up the clock. He actually smiles, or the pensive clock, or whatever we called it. He smiles when he sees it, because I imagine he probably never came to visit her here to see if she actually put it up. For all he knew, she just stashed it somewhere. So he has a small smile as he picks it up and he looks at the envelope. Does he see anything on the envelope?
Nothing's written on the envelope. It's currently blank. But it does definitely seem like something is inside of it.
Ooh, okay, I'm trying to channel Al. Would he actually look? But it's directly underneath the clock, yes?
It's directly underneath the clock. Yeah. And I think... Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, he's going to put it in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to flip it over. He's going to, flip it over.
It's not sealed.
Is it unsealed?
No, it's unsealed.
Not sealed.
It's not sealed.
He goes to open it, and he has some doubts. So he closes it and puts it in his pocket.
Okay.
He takes the clock, walks back downstairs.
Okay.
And he says, "Do you mind if I keep this? It was a gift I gave to Asa. I'd like to keep it if you don't mind." He looks at both of them, or whoever he sees first.
I'm going to say that Asa's mother looks at you and says, "Of course, Albicon. I think she would want that."
Thank you. And he'll take the clock and put it, if he can fit it in his pocket. If not, he'll just kind of tuck it under his arm. He has his bag, of course, that he could put it in. His bag that stores a bunch of stuff. So he puts it in there, and he walks over to Asa, and he leans down, and he'll give her a gentle kiss on her forehead. And he'll whisper a goodbye in her ear. And one final "I'm sorry." And then he'll look at the two of them, and unless they're saying anything, he'll just give them both a polite bow. And I think at that point, if he knew the address, he would attempt to apparate to where Nico is at.
So you can at least attempt to apparate to the village that he's at. Go ahead and roll me an apparate spell. I don't think you've ever been to this village, so the TN is going to be higher. So
yeah, it adds 10. How many miles is it? Because that's what determines.
So from Japan to Morocco.
Oh boy,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
The big.
I think it's comparable to the distance from the UK to Mexico. It's comparable. So
well, then in that case, I know he would know he's not able to because of not being there. It makes it impossible, actually.
Okay.
So
I do want you to get to Morocco. So we can just say that you'll apparate as far as you can, and then you go the rest of the way by broom somehow. Even if you have to you just have to be very careful to not get caught. Yeah, you still have your courage points too. Unlike
That's true. 29.
Wow.
That's actually
so good. I'm going to say if you want to use a courage point, I'm going to say you can actually apparate to Morocco if you want to use one of your courage points.
Yeah, that avoids me having to use a broom.
Yeah, because then if you use a broom, I'm going to have you like roll stealth to like stealth because there's a lot of drones looking for brooms right now. And I don't think you want to be in that situation at the moment. Not right this moment. Yeah. That's one less thing you want to deal with. Okay, so you are going to apparate in the village of Morocco. And I'm going to say that you actually know that Roxy's bar is here. You know that Roxana's bar here. You're not going to apparate, so maybe that's where you're aiming, is to apparate at Roxana's bar. And I don't know if you've ever... You probably, I think we established you've never been here before. But you probably know... once you're there, where her bar is. The moment that you apparate, this is the same night that Tritessa and Nico had their thing. So I'm going to say that timing-wise, that Roxana had just managed to turn Tritessa on her way and told Nico that she wants him gone by next morning. So what do you do, Albion, once you arrive in Morocco?
All right, so he heads to the bar and he looks to see if the sign says it's open or not.
You'll see that the sign says it's closed, but there is light. You can clearly see somebody still inside.
And loud music.
He'll put his face up against the window and look in. What does he see?
I'm assuming that he'll be able to see Roxana. What is Roxana doing?
She's at the bar. She's got a sort of like a scotch glass, an ice cube in it, and straight scotch, just a little bit. And she's just sitting there at the bar, just sipping. And there is loud music, and Albion probably wouldn't recognize it, but I would say it's some kind of alternative rock, maybe some Red Hot Chili Peppers, something like that. I don't know, some trendy like that. She likes muggle music now.
Al tries the door.
I would think it's locked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the door would be locked.
He takes out his wand and...
I'm gonna say that Roxana will hear. You'll hear somebody trying to open the doorknob.
I take out my wand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the window and I'm gonna look out.
You're gonna go to the window and you look out, and I'm gonna say you'll be able to see Albion from there.
I rush to the door and I let him in. And before he says anything, I'm like, all right, before you, for whatever reason you're here, I got a problem you need to solve for me, okay?
Hello to you too, Roxy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is very rude. I'm under lots of stress right now. Nico's here, and I need you to get him the fuck out of my bar, because in the morning, oh yeah, by the way, Tritessa was here tonight, and they nearly got into a scuffle. I handled it, but he's got to leave, either now or tomorrow morning.
Al's kind of confused, but... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's true. He didn't even take time to clean himself up.
Is he still have blood on himself or not?
I think
He wasn't even thinking about him. He only cleaned up
Okay.
Asa. He wanted her to be.
Okay, so
And then
you notice that he has blood, blood on himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she rambles for a bit, and then she kind of stops and looks at him and looks down at the blood, and then looks back up. What happened?
Yeah, I might need a drink before we get into this, he says, and he'll just kind of walk into the bar at that point.
She closes the door, locks it, and she's gonna look outside to see if anyone's followed him.
So
Yeah.
he'll walk in, just pull out a bar stool and just sit there and put his hands in his head. Does he see any booze within arm's reach?
I'll say I'll say the scotch she was drinking is right there by her glass.
He grabs the scotch. He looks around. He sees a glass, grabs the glass, puts the glass back down, and just chugs some of the scotch and slams it down.
Roxana just slowly walks over. Holy shit, it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah. You said Nico's here?
Yeah, he's downstairs eating some chips that they made for him.
I don't even know where to start, Roxy.
Okay, she's gonna sit next to him. She's gonna down the rest of her drink, put it face down on the bar, and she's gonna look at him. Just start from the beginning.
He just kind of sighs and... Have you ever seen someone you loved just die right in front of your eyes, Roxy? Just done. Nothing you could do to stop it. I don't even know why she was where she was.
Oh god, she didn't. Is that why you're here?
Have you seen the news about Kodovstorets?
No? What happened? Do I know that Toby was there?
You do. You do.
At this point, she's very rigid.
So, I was there for work. And Toby was there, obviously. You know Toby's been working there too.
Yeah, I do.
And out of nowhere, they started attacking. Muggles. Firing at the castle. It was chaos, Roxy. It was utter chaos. And he starts crying again. And she was there.
Puts a hand on his shoulder, pretty much behind his neck kind of thing. Yeah, just puts a hand there.
She was there too. She could have been anywhere else, but she was there. I tried, Roxy. I tried. I took them both to Finn's house, but Asa was in bad shape, and I think I made it worse. I think it's my fault. I should have just taken her to a hospital. I should have just risked it. I should have known I wasn't in the right state of mind
Stop.
to be able
Stop.
to help her.
Okay. Stop. Alright? You made a mistake. People fuck up, okay? I know this isn't a small mistake, but you tried. That
But she
mattered.
died, Roxy. I can't undo this mistake.
Okay.
I had to tell her parents. I have to tell Nico, and Albion's not being quiet right now.
Yeah. Look, you tried, okay? You tried. Which means it wasn't your fault.
Whose fault is it then, Roxy? Whose fault is all of this? You know Finn almost died?
No, I didn't.
It's not gonna end, Roxy, until it ends. And there's gonna be more people dying, and I just want to go somewhere and just pretend like it doesn't exist, but that's not the responsible thing to do.
When he says that, Roxana looks. Roxana, when he says that, Roxana like averts her eyes, and she actually looks the other way and scratches the back of it.
Does he notice? Would he notice that? I mean, it's right.
Oh yeah,
he like kind of shakes his head. He says, "No, I mean, I'm jealous of you, Roxy. I wish I could just get away from it all, because I don't even think I'm helping it at all either." He takes the bottle and takes a smaller swig this time.
When he's done, she'll like move it over to her, also take a swig and put it down. Okay, look. I think you need to take a step back. People are going to do what they're going to do, okay? And you can't control that. The best you can do is protect what you love. And at least try and find some semblance of happiness. And look, I know that's not the responsible thing, Albion, but sometimes adding more voices to a bunch of people that already are yelling is not going to help anything. Okay?
Out of character question. Remember how we talked about those bracelets? Did they already give them out? Does Roxy already have hers?
I would think you would have given her hers at some point.
Yeah, she's wearing it.
Probably before she started working in Morocco. Probably.
Yeah, Hark said last session, me and Rox has one. Only Juan does it.
Do you still have Juan's? Juan does not have one at the moment.
Right. That's right. Okay.
He's the black sheep at the moment.
Yeah, they don't like me.
I don't know, Roxy. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just need to focus on protecting what I love, like you said.
It's not heroic, and there's nothing romantic about it. You know what, Al? And you're not going to like to hear this, but I mean, I assume the school's gone. It's all gone.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah. Then, honestly, it was all for nothing. Go home.
What was all for nothing?
Everything you were trying to do there. It's gone. It's time to go home. I'm sorry, I know that's probably not what you want to hear.
But everything at that school, you know what they were working on there, Roxy, don't you?
I do, Albion. And you know what? Maybe there isn't a way to stop it. Maybe there isn't.
If they don't stop it, they'll just keep using it. You know how I feel about that, Roxy.
I do. Unfortunately, Albion, sometimes things just stay broken. Maybe people just shouldn't use the spell altogether.
I mean, I agree. They shouldn't use it. But, that's the only way. If they don't have a way to keep the secrecy, they're going to use it unless there's another way. The traditionalists aren't going to back down. They believe that it's for our best safety, and maybe they're right. Maybe the secrecy is for our safety. I mean, look what the Muggles just did to Koldov's threats. But there has to be another way. He'll shake his head.
Have you spoken to Levi about this?
Yeah, I did. As soon as the attack happened, actually, I got in touch with Levi because I figured if anything, he might know about what was happening. I mean, he is working pretty closely to help the Muggles, keep them safe. But he didn't know about this attack. He didn't realize that's what was going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's have another drink. And she pours another. Do you want me to go get Nico? What do you?
Yeah. Do you think I should do it alone, or should we just have him come up here?
I can go into the next room. I do not mind.
I mean, I don't care if you're here, obviously. Is he doing okay?
He looks rough. He looks really rough. I am. You're not going to like this, but I told him he had to leave in the morning, but I told him I was going to contact you. I was just unbinding, and then I was actually going to use the puppets to contact you and tell him to go to you.
You said something about Tritessa with Nico? Like,
oh my god. Tritessa is working with the traditionalists. I found him downstairs in my bar, and he said he was running from Muggles. I couldn't just leave him, so I gave him something to eat, and she came looking for him. I managed to get them to put their wands away, but then Nico decided he was still going to cast his spell. I managed to get them to calm down, but she's coming back in the morning. This is the last thing I need. Not that that's what's important right now, but you know.
I'll take care of Nico. I'll actually, if he needs a place to stay, I just sent Toby to my house in Great Britain. It's thanks to my dad's position in the ministry, we have a little more protection than the average family, and while I hate to abuse it, I don't feel bad using it to keep the people I care about safe. So if you need Toby, he's there. So at least he's safe, and I'll see if I can convince Nico to go with me and stay there as well. So
Yeah,
he'll be out by morning.
I need you to realize she looked really official. Okay, so if you do this, they will come looking for him.
I didn't even think of that. Why are they after Nico of all people? I feel like I'm so out of the loop. Like, what's he doing?
I got no idea no offense, what any of you do, to be honest. But if I were to take a guess, it was probably separate. What are they called? Not traditionalists. I nearly said separatists.
Progressives.
Progressives. That's it. Sorry, Star Wars. But basically, she's like, I don't know. From what I guess, he's a progressive, and he probably blew something up. That's what they do.
Al just shakes his head, and he'll look at Roxy in the eyes, and he's probably starting to slur his words a little bit at this point.
Oh yeah, she's like, she's been drinking long before you, bro.
He's like, you just keep doing you, Roxy. You be happy and stay here in your bar. And he'll smile, kind of like a giddy smile, and he'll hold up his wrist and say, "Don't forget, I'm just a call away."
I know, don't you forget. I hear nothing from these. She pulls out her puppet. You guys never use these. Use them more. Jesus
if I'm
Christ.
being honest, it kind of creeps me out, Roxy.
What? It's cute. Look at it. She flips it around.
He sighs. He says, "I guess it's time to break the news."
Yeah, we're kind of stalling. Just remember.
Thank you, Roxy.
I know you might not believe it right now. And I wasn't there, but it's not your fault. No. And deep down, you probably do know that. It's just easier to blame yourself. It's not your fault.
Right.
I'll be back. And she's gonna go downstairs.
Roxy is going to go downstairs to look for Nico, and she will find the following things. So you will see. So you know that Nico was sort of like has himself hidden away, maybe behind some crates, and he like made like a makeshift table by piling some crates together. You see that there is a interesting looking broom that you've never seen before. It's a model you've never seen before. It looks freshly carved recently. And it's like leaning against a wall. You see Nico's backpack on the floor. On the table, or makeshift table, interestingly enough, so you see this magenta-ish residue on the top of the box table. And there's like spots where it looks like there used to be like 3 piles. Not to get like, I'm going to be very specific. So, you know how when people are smoking up or inhaling some things, they have like the powder, the white powder in 3 lines. So it looks like that somebody had put 3 lines of this magenta-ish powder, and it looks like 2 of them was used up. So you see like magenta-ish residue. So like 2 of them was used up, but one of the stripes, one of the pink magenta dust stripes, is still intact. But you don't see Nico anywhere.
Nico, are you here?
You call out to him, you look around, and after a minute or so, you realize he's not in the basement.
Shit. She runs upstairs. Okay. He's gone.
Gone where?
I don't know. All of his shit is downstairs, and there's this purple stuff on the crate he was eating at. He's just gone.
Al kind of stumbles out of his stool a little bit, and he's a little clumsier than normal he says, "Show me this purple shit."
That's the name of this. The title of this part. Purple
stuff. All right. So, yeah, she'll. All right. Steady there, Clutterfoot. Let's go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help him down the stairs
and
so he doesn't fall.
Right.
Roll me. Yeah, he'll bring him over. Albion, just for kicks, roll me acrobatics, just to not fall down the stairs, please. In your semi-tipsy state.
Do I need to?
I'm gonna say you're tipsy, not drunken.
Any modifications because of the alcohol?
Yeah, -2 because of your tipsy state.
Because I'm at 0 normally for that. So.
Okay, let's see how this goes. 7. All right. Fortunately, with the help of Roxana, like you would have stumbled down the stairs, but she'll help you into the basement. It's a little musty down here, but she will take you and you will see the scene that I had set up earlier.
Does Al recognize it just off the top of his head first, I guess?
Roll an alchemy check, please. This is an alchemical substance.
So knowledge alchemy?
Not an herbology substance. Knowledge alchemy, please. 18. You're not quite sure what this is. However, you deduce that it is something that has hallucinatory properties.
Al will kind of like touch a little bit of it with his finger and put it up to his nose and just give it a sniff. Like not in his nose, but like see if there's a scent. Like
Yeah. For that let you roll an herbology.
22.
22? Yeah, your herbology will let you know that this is made mostly from these magenta berries that grow out in the wild. And again, as you suspect, these berries seem to have hallucinatory properties when you eat them, when you consume them. So you probably can guess that whatever this is, somebody uses for some leisure purpose of some sort, most likely. But that's all you can get from that.
He'll as he sniffs it, he looks at Roxy, goes, "I'm pretty sure this is herbal," and he'll put the tiniest little bit on his tip of his tongue, just to see what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Does it taste sweet, bitter?
It's bitter.
He says, "Yeah." He says, "I'm not entirely sure, but I think I think this has some mind-altering mind-altering properties to it.
Oh, you're fucking
He says,
kidding me.
he says, "Did he get this from you?"
No. Okay, listen, I have booze in my bar. I don't have fucking drugs in my bar. No, never. Jesus
I think
Christ.
they're all natural.
Hold up, let me try something. I'm gonna try and use the herp. See if I can reach out.
Contact who?
Nico.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a use magic item, please.
And he has
Oh
to tell
god,
him.
this is gonna be shit. Oh my god.
What do you get?
13.
13. Okay. You attempt to use the hoop to try to contact Nico, and you're not getting anything. So that either means he's out of range, or your use magic item was too low, so it didn't actually work, or he's unconscious, maybe sleeping, maybe whatever. Those are the three reasons why you wouldn't get contact from him.
She's just like, shit. I can't reach him with the hoop. I have no idea. He could be fucking face down in a dish for all I know. Jeez.
Do we see his bag out of character?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you see his bag.
his-
His stuff is still there.
All right. Well, maybe he went to get something to eat. Wait, you said you gave him some chips, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some chips. There's some chips in the bowl. There's like a few left. He didn't finish the whole thing, but there's a few left there.
I'm gonna look around to see if I can see if anything's been disturbed. Because he
Yeah.
wouldn't have come up the stairs. He would have had to go out the back way.
Right.
Crit success. But
Oh, nice. Quick.
So you do a bit of investigating, and one thing that you do notice is that the door on the basement door is unlocked, not open but unlocked. And I'm gonna say with a critical success, you're able to notice like a tiny detail on the door, like based on the dust on the ground, and for some reason you just have this gut feeling through a ridiculously high observation that you believe that somebody had opened that door relatively recently, like within the last maybe 5 or 10 minutes before you came downstairs.
I go straight for the door and open it, and I walk out. Does it go into like an alley?
Yeah, it goes into an alley.
And I start yelling for him.
You
Nico!
start yelling out for Nico, but you won't get a response.
Well, while she was looking at the door, if he has any sort of like vial or something, he's gonna scoop up the extra powder
Sure.
and like scoop it.
Sure.
Once he gets that up, he looks and he sees Roxy has left, and he follows her out into the alley, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
He come through this door. Look. And she points at the powder on the floor. He's come through here recently.
I'll even say that, again, with a critical success, you'll notice like some footprints on the dust, and it looks like those footprints, you're sure, are Nico's footprints.
I'm going to proceed down the alley and just keep yelling out his name as loud as I can.
You're going to go down and still no response. It's past midnight. It's probably 1 a.m. right now, so it's nobody's
So
around.
You're gonna wake people.
Oh, like, that really matters right now. He could be anywhere. He's probably high as a kite.
He's probably gonna come right back. He didn't finish whatever he was doing. Maybe he just needed some fresh air.
Maybe he had to leave. She suddenly kind of is like, I'm going to look around. Is there anyone in the immediate area or any kind of, I don't know, is there anything I can see?
No, everything looks normal right now. It's very quiet. There's nothing. This isn't a big city, so this village is very quiet at night. Like, it would be very unusual for someone to be walking around at this hour.
Look, he left his stuff, so we can assume the worst, and maybe Tritessa came back for him, or he just stepped out and he'll be right back. But even if something bad happened, where do we even go from here, Roxy?
I don't know. Let's just, hold up. Let's go and, Aika's house is just up the street. Let's, maybe he has an idea of what to do. And you can get another shirt. Come on, let's go.
Oh
And
yeah.
she'll motion for, Albion to follow.
Are you gonna lock up before you leave?
Oh yeah,
Or-
yeah.
All right.
Look.
I just
Yeah,
want to
look
make
at-
sure. All right, so you lock up before you leave, and Albion will follow you down the streets, the very quiet streets, over to Aika's house. You have a key.
Mhm.
You can let yourself in if you want.
Yeah.
And you have Albion. You've never been at Aika's house, but as soon as you enter, you can smell the sweet and spicy smell from the kitchen, which is Aika's mom always keeps fresh herbs and spices, which for you is probably paradise, for someone like you. It's cozy. It's not orderly. It's like the exact opposite of Asa's house. It's not filthy. It's just a little cluttered, but it's cozy. So it's very quiet. I mean, Aika's mom goes to bed relatively early. Aika is pretty much asleep at this point. So what do you do?
She'll just turn it out. Just see. I'll be back in a minute, and she'll go into their room.
Okay.
And
Aika's
he's asleep.
asleep. Yeah.
She's just gonna gently shake him. Aika.
He shakes it a little bit, and so Aika, he actually sleeps with a face mask, like an eye mask,
He does.
and the one that has like the eyeballs on top, so it looks like he's actually awake,
Yeah.
like the cartoon
I imagine
eyes.
I imagine because it's magic, they blink
Yeah.
too.
They blink too. Yes, they blink too, and they look around like the googly eyes, magically. And he says, He pulls off the eyelid mask, and he says, Roxy, did you want to go at it again, my little piglet? Yes. Is it that time again? He stretches. And by the way, Aika sleeps nude. Just so you know, he sleeps nude.
She's like, she looks down at him and then she looks back up. No,
He definitely seems ready.
pulls the button. No, maybe later. Listen. I have a problem. A really big problem.
A 1 a.m. problem. Did a bar fight happen over at your place? He says, still half there, still waking up.
At this point, her face drops. She looks very serious. It's been a very eventful night. I don't know if you've seen the news, but a few things have happened. Albion's here. Oh my god, Jesus, I have to start from the beginning.
Albion's here.
Yeah, she'll let him, just for the sake of time, we'll just let him know the whole situation pretty much from the beginning. Finding Nico, the whole thing with Tritessa, and then Albion coming to the bar and telling her about what happened at Koldovsteretz, and she'll finish.
You'll tell him this while he's putting on some shorts at least.
Yeah.
He'll put on some shorts and he'll throw on like whatever the equivalent of a bathrobe is in Wizarding World. Whatever the equivalent of that is. He's got some slippers. So if you fill him in, he'll come into, I guess, the living room. So the robe is like open, so he's very fit. He's got some abs. Not as good as Finn's, but they're still
Look at what
well-defined.
you're missing out on.
Yeah, look at what you're missing out on. He comes in, open robe, bare chest, and he comes in to you and he greets you warmly. Albion, so good to see you. That's after such a long time. Would have been nice if you dropped in at a more proper hour, but from what I heard, that there are things that are a little timely right now.
Roxana will come out a few seconds later. I imagine she also happened to mention that Us is dead, and actually no, I haven't, because I haven't mentioned that yet, but just mentioned that his shirt's dirty, but she probably didn't mention that it's got blood on it. So just that it's dirty, and she'll come out with one of Aika's shirts and hand it to Albion.
Can I make you a cup of tea before before I can help. We can help you.
It's hard to say no to tea from you, Aika, but I think I'm good for now. Thank you. And Al looks exhausted. Obviously, it's late. It's been a long day. He just sighs. He says, "I'm sorry. It's this time of night, but clearly, Roxy's probably told you we're trying to find Nico, and I don't know. Once we find Nico, I'll be out of your hair. I promise."
All right. What do you want me to do?
I just, honestly, I don't know what to do. He just left. All of his shit's still there. I got no idea where he is. I can't reach him with the hoop. He's just literally disappeared off the face of the earth. I was wondering if you might have any ideas.
I might be able to cast some sort of locator spell, but I would need something. Do you have anything of Nico's hair would be best? But maybe something that he owns that's very close to him. Something that he's had, the longer the better. A possession or something.
I mean...
Al finishes changing his shirt, and he reaches into the bag and he says, "Well, we found this in his room," and he holds out the purple vial of purple shit.
He'll pick it up. He'll look at the bottle and says, "He had this?"
He did have that. I'm a little bit mad about it, but that's not important right now.
Yes. This powder, I don't even think they've given it a name yet, but this has become really popular during wartime. It allows the user to indulge in visions of their deepest fantasies as a way of escape.
Oh, brother.
The prices for these go up high during wartime, so I'm not surprised that he possessed this.
That's why he looked for... Oh my god. Okay. Will it work?
I'm not sure how long he's had this in his possession, but if that's all you have, I'll give it a try.
If not, there is... His stuff is still there. I can go through it and find something for you.
That would probably be best, and he'll turn to start getting ready for that. Once you start hearing commotion outside, the village, like I said, was super quiet, but all of a sudden you start hearing voices and like crowds, like group of people like gathering.
Immediately takes her wand out and goes to the window.
You go to the window and you are able to see your bar from the window in the distance. You can see that there is a big glow from the bar, and you realize that the bar is on fire.
God damn it!
What's happening, Roxy?
Cut to the next scene. Levi and Juan. All right.
God damn it.
God damn it. Toilet
Levi,
breaks.
you have just discovered that something is going down in Lambeth, London. What do you do?
I can't apparate, so I need to get on a broom and start flying.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's what I'm doing.
Are you going to try to do this covertly, or do you not care if anybody catches you on a
At
broom?
this point, I don't care. I think knowing that Chess is in danger, he's off.
Roll me a ride broom check, please, so I can tell how fast you're moving.
I was a pretty good Quidditch player, guys, back in my day.
Yeah.
You guys don't remember? I catch the snitch in like 13 seconds.
17. Nice. So, you will mount your broom and you will try to quickly go to Lambeth as fast as possible, not caring if anybody catches you. When you arrive at Lambeth, so just to remind everyone, this is the area where the big giant Ferris wheel is. Okay? So there is a panic. People are running around this in the streets because, to your surprise and possible horror, there seems to be an army of giants that have started picking up and throwing boulders right in the middle of the public square of Lambert. All of these things are being like destroyed. All these landmarks. There's all this destruction, and the really eerie thing is that these giants, they are wearing these large masks. They're not Death Eater masks. So the giants are wearing those white masks, and in addition, you see these other wizards that are flying in and appearing in the middle of the square, and they're starting to actually cast spells against the muggles and no-mages that are in the area. You see several people buckle down in pain as the Cruciatus curse is being like cast on them. And it is a huge mess. As from your broom, you are able to notice that you see that Chessa is in the gardens of the garden. She's in the garden museum. You see her like dashing into the garden museum, and she's being followed by two of these wizards who are also wearing these white masks. These two wizards are going after her, possibly a third. And as you're flying to beeline your way towards the garden museum, you suddenly see a large boulder come crashing towards the large Ferris wheel. So the Ferris wheel starts to get unhinged, and it looks like it's going to start falling over. And you hear screams coming from the Ferris wheel.
Okay, so I'm guessing I have to choose the Ferris wheel or Chessa here. So, always go with your heart, boys. So,
Be a hero.
Yeah,
Or
I'm gonna have to. Huh?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can hear the screams of like kids and all that stuff from the Ferris wheel. What do you do, Levi? What do you do?
Chessa's pretty strong, guys. I think
She is pretty strong. She's fine.
she's pretty strong.
She's pregnant.
She might be pregnant. She might have your unborn child, but what do you do, Levi?
It's about those kids.
Okay, I just want to say
Okay.
Juan could have helped if he didn't have a broken hand.
I want to say that I don't know which one. I thought I beat myself up. All right. All right. No, he would. Yeah, he's gonna help Chessa.
Okay. All right. You're gonna go and help Chessa. So you're gonna fly into the garden museum, and you can see that Chessa is trying to deflect the attacks of these two wizards as they're casting spell after spell. What do you do?
I'm gonna shoot him.
With what?
In my gun in their head.
Oh, go ahead. Roll me a use muggle item. Use muggle item?
Use muggle item. I think I have that actually. I have muggle something. Use muggle technology. Does that
yes,
work?
use muggle technology.
Okay.
Can you roll?
It's not very high, so I don't think I'm gonna. 11.
11? Alright, you will fire at one of them, and unfortunately that's going to miss. That wizard turns towards your direction, notices that you just fired a gun at them, and they cast Avada Kedavra right at you.
That's the end of me.
What do you do?
Can I use magic item?
Of course you can. What are you going to use?
I'm going to use my hoop to shrink to an ant. To attempt to dodge this spell.
Go ahead and use magic item. Roll to use magic item.
This isn't very good, guys. I'm gonna die. It was lovely knowing all of you.
Training wheels are coming off, guys. 6.
I'm gonna use my last chance luck if I can.
Alright, because I was gonna say, used up all your courage points.
Yep, all my courage points are done.
Your last Chance luck.
This is my last chance luck. Please save me, Chance.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay. So, Levi. Oh goodness.
This is it. Bye, guys. It was a pleasure.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so the spell fires, and you're going over to fire at Levi, and it goes hurtling through towards you, Levi. And then I want you to roll me initiative, please, Levi.
9 again.
9 again.
Please don't die on us.
Okay.
No.
Levi, this spell is going to start come hurtling towards you. And at the corner of your eye, you see a shadow running towards you as it's starting to appear in front of you. You have a split second to recognize it as Hunter. I am giving you a choice. Do you stay put, or do you push Hunter out of the way of the blast? You have a choice.
No! No!
I'm so upset right now.
No.
I know Brendan, and he's gonna fucking push me out of the way and leave us.
I push Hunter out the way.
You push Hunter out of the way as the spell flies through the air and strikes Levi square in the chest. Levi, cinematically, what's going through your head right now as you get hit by the killing curse?
I think he's just hoping that Chessa and Hunter will be okay after this, and he's happy that he saved his father.
Okay. Levi falls down to the ground. You hear a scream just before everything goes dark from Chessa as things start to fade.